Hello and welcome to Learn to Drive the Easy Way. I'm approved driving instructor Michael Gambin, and I'm going to show you how to drive manual, automatic and cars fitted with disability controls in the easiest way possible. So sit back, relax and enjoy. And remember to hit the subscribe button underneath to see all of our videos. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a secondary control efficiently, whether you're using the lollipop style or the steering ball style. I'm going to put up a slide now to show you where the buttons are, as well as telling you how they are operated. And then I'll drive for about 5 minutes using both of these styles of control method. And you can see which technique or which steering grip you prefer to use.
So the indicators are the arrows on the left and the right, and it's a one-touch system. So once you tap it, it will constantly flash that indicator until you press the indicator cancel button at the bottom, which is the circle with the cross. Now next to that you'll see two triangles, one inside another, and that's the hazard lights. So if you push that button 3 times, the hazard lights will turn on, and if you push it 3 times again, it will then turn them off. But if you're cancelling the indicator, you just press that button once and the indicator will cancel. With a lot of modern cars though, if your indicator's on and you go to cancel it straight away, you'll find that the indicator will continue to flash 3 times before cancelling. So next we will talk about the windscreen washers and the wipers. The top left button is to wash the front windscreen, and if you push and hold that button, it will wash the windscreen and then start to wipe automatically. You won't have to cancel anything, it will do it itself after a few wipes. The top right button, if you hold that, it will wash the rear window and then wipe automatically. Again, it will cancel itself automatically. But if you just want to wipe the rear window, you just tap that button, and then you'll either tap it once or twice depending on the car to cancel it. Sometimes it will have 2 separate speeds to do the rear. The 2 buttons at the bottom is to speed up or slow down the front windscreen. So each tap of the button on the bottom left will speed up the front wipers, and each click of the right bottom button will slow the wipers down until it turns them off. So now we'll talk about the lights and the horn. The horn is the center button, and it's just press and hold, and while you're holding it, that will sound the horn. The side lights button, if your car doesn't have automatic headlights, this is how you would turn those on. So the first click would be for your side lights, and the second click will be for your dipped beam. To turn them off, you then just press it normally a 3rd time, but that again does depend on which car you're driving. The main beam button, also known as full beam, is to turn those on. Now they're to be used when you're driving down a unlit road at night time, but remember, as soon as you see an oncoming vehicle, make sure you turn those off so you don't dazzle them, and to do that you just press the same button again.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to keep the remote control upright at all times. So I'm going to turn left here, so mirror, mirror, left signal, using my brakes nice and early, follow my curve, onto the gas. Now I'm going to keep the indicator on for this turn, but once I'm here, I'm then going to cancel the signal. So I just press the bottom button, so the cross in a circle. Going to turn right, so mirror, mirror, right signal, braking, slowing it down nice and early, wait until my turning point, and again, keep the remote control upright at all times. Once I've got into my road, I can then cancel my signal. It's important to remember as well that, say for instance, if I accidentally hit the main beam, so you can see I just flashed the main beam there once. Now, if I was to turn my headlights on from the car itself, what will then happen is my main beam will be on automatically, and I have to press it again to turn it back off. So it's important that you make sure that the main beam isn't already switched on before you start your journey, because when your auto lights turn on, you will then start to blind everyone. So we're going to turn right, so mirror, mirror, right signal, using my brakes nice and early again. Having a look, making sure it's safe, then starting my turn. And then cancel the indicator. We tend to find that that's the one thing that catches a lot of people out, is that they forget to cancel their signal after they've done a turn. So you will eventually get to the point where you will get used to it, but initially it will take a bit of time, especially if you've been driving with conventional controls before getting into a car using those secondary controls. And then cancel. Now, if I need to wash my windscreen, you just push and hold and it does it automatically. You let go, you'll see that the windscreen wipers will wipe a few times and then they'll turn themselves off. You don't have to cancel that automatically. It's not like the indicators. If you need to do the rear, then you just push the button at the top right instead. So you can see the whole time I'm trying to keep the lollipop in the upright position, in the 12 o'clock position. Now for this next turn, what I'm going to do is angle the lollipop as I do my turn. Now what tends to happen as you do this is it will be a bit more awkward here. You can see I'm having to sort of use a bit more of my forearm, the upper forearm, to be able to get the wheel round. It's less natural. And the problem is, if I use the lollipop on the right hand side, I'll tend to actually hit the door frame as well. So always try to keep the lollipop in the upright position. You don't have to necessarily grip it particularly tight. You can see as I'm doing this, I'm not actually going to use my fingers now. Okay, so I'm actually just going to use the palm of my hand to turn the lollipop and the steering. And you can see I've got just as much control, if not more. Now, I also teach track, and the one thing that most people do wrong when they're driving on the track is that they grip the steering wheel too tight, and that masks the effect of the car. You can't feel the front wheels, because the front wheels are what's giving you the clue if it's going into a slide. So the less grip you have, the better. So using my right signal this time, just edging forward. And then cancel. So just going into this bend, always good to go into a wider position, so taking what we call the racing line and then tighten up. And again, you can see I'm just keeping this in the upright position. So now I'm using the steering ball design. Now, what you want to do whenever you're holding the steering ball is make sure that your hand is in that position rather than like this. Number one, you won't be able to access the buttons very easily. But the other problem that you'll also have is that you'll tend to rotate the steering knob or the ball into a position which makes it then impossible. So we're going to go into this corner here. As we do this, I'm just going to keep the lighter position on that steering ball, so you can see I'm still keeping it in that position to cancel. Okay, I'm not grabbing it here. Okay, so again, I'm going to do a left turn this time. So I do my indicator, just cupping it from the front and rotating the steer, then cancel. Now what I'm going to do for this next turn is keep the grip on the steering ball as I do the turn, and you'll see what will happen as a result with the control panel side of things. So at the end of this road, I'm going to do a right turn. So I've done my mirrors, I do my indicator, and now I'm going to take a grip position on the steering ball. And you can see now the problem is I can't get to that control, it's in the wrong position. So I then have to rotate it to then access it. I'll show you that again. So I'm just going to take the grip, I then turn that wheel, and then again here I now can't access it properly, it keeps rotating with my hand. So we're just going to keep the palm on the top of the ball itself to be able to get that rotation. Remember, if you feel like you need to take more of a grip when you're driving, so if you're on a dual carriageway for instance and you don't feel that confident with a light grip, remember it is best if you can have a light grip. It's not so much of an issue, but when you do want to go around the corner, make sure you result back to this grip position on the ball. So we rotate, and then I can cancel. Going into a left turn now. You can see that time I've just sort of cupped the ball a little bit more. Okay, so I'm using this part of my hand. Okay, and you can see I still had the same level of control. I could still access the steering controls as well. It just stops that rotation of the ball from happening. Now, if you need to use the horn, obviously it's just the center push, so it's just a little beep. If you need to windscreen wipe, that's the bottom buttons. The lights, like I said before, sometimes your car has auto lights, so that won't work. But if you do need to turn the lights on, that would be the button on the right hand side on the Lodgesons. And the one thing that you can have sometimes as an optional extra when you're using steering auxiliary steering controls is the hazard lights. Now obviously this isn't really a problem if you have to use your hazard lights. It's normally because you've sadly broken down, but there is one occasion where you have to do it on the drive, which is if you're on a motorway and you're approaching slowing down traffic or stop traffic. It's not mandatory, it's just an advisory. Now I've wired this up myself, so to do the hazard lights on a Lodgeson system, you just press the hazard light, the cancellation button 3 times, and then that turns it on automatically. Press it again 3 times to turn it off. But once you've broken down, obviously you're parked, so you just use the car's control method to cancel it. But take note, if you have got it wired and you're frantically trying to cancel your indicator, you will then flip to your hazard lights, and then if you try to cancel it, it's not going to do anything, so you have to do it 3 times again to turn it off. So I hope that video has helped, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.